Alright, I don't know how this happened, but we got to week 5. It went pretty quickly. And this week we're going to do a couple of different things, so I do want to bring you through those things. But first I actually want to talk about the scientific revolution, and that's what we're looking at this week. And again, like the Reformation, I think this needs to be seen in context, where you had these pockets of innovation that Ferguson is going to talk about happening all over the world throughout history. But for some reason, the confluence of the Reformation, the Renaissance, this age of exploration, and then the European scientific revolution has a greater impact globally than these other maybe more isolated spurts ever had in history, because we're bringing in this idea that we're going to learn from experience and not just kind of honor what comes from God. We're now all over the world, so we're going to bring this knowledge to other places and use the knowledge that's coming in to help fuel this revolution. And then, most importantly, in terms of the dominance of Europe during these centuries, we're going to use what we create during this time to help us get better at subjugating other peoples. So that's one of the key forces that's going to explain European dominance, is because they had this scientific revolution. And of course I'm talking about weaponry here, but we could also be talking about the industrialization that's going to come a little bit later too. They're going to make more products out of more goods, and all of these things are tied together. It's kind of like a domino effect. So you'll see that a little bit in Ferguson. And there's a really short video that just kind of presents this very briefly. You might want to watch it first, just so you kind of get the context. And then there is a writing from the period. And what I'm asking you to do this week in our discussion is choose a small quote from either Ferguson or that primary source that maybe stood out to you or resonated with you. Post it in the discussion forum and ask your peers to think about that in some way. How could this be seen in the modern world? What is this person talking about? What is a specific example of what this person is talking about? Is this true? Doesn't this particular example counter what is being said here? So ask them a thoughtful question about something that resonated out of either of those primary sources. The other thing that we do need to do this week is take our first quiz. I don't mean these to be onerous or threatening or scary. There's just a check-in to make sure that we're kind of going through the very basics of world history that we should be going through. So if you're getting enough out of Ferguson, if you're getting enough out of the resources that I post every week, this should be pretty easy. I don't do any tricky questions or anything like that. One thing that has happened in the past is people have timed the quiz out. So just make sure you're at a good computer. If you're able to do everything like watch a YouTube video and all of that, it should be fine. But make sure you have a good connection when you start. I do let you go in and retake the quiz. So if you think you bombed it and you think you can do better, then go on in and do it again. It'll let you do that. The point here is not to penalize you. The point is to learn. So try and have fun with it. And then we don't have a post forum because we're doing that. If you have any problems while you're taking the quiz, shoot me an email, and I'll try and work them out. If you say, oh, I just submitted a thing and it's not complete, shoot me an email. Usually I can tell in Moodle, though, how it's going. So as long as you complete it in one of your attempts and you're happy with that, I'll be able to see that and drop all the incomplete attempts. Okay? So maybe you've done this in another class. Maybe this is your first time. Don't worry about it. It's not too bad. It's mostly multiple choice and then one kind of more thinking question. All right? Hope you have a good week. Bye-bye.